Hello everybody, it's Josh Boy here, and today we're predicting the entire 2026 World Cup. So as you can see here, I have got all the group stages. We're going to be predicting who's going to be coming first, second and third in each one, and then seeing where they're going to end up from there. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Group A first up, of course, that tends to be how it goes. So we've got Mexico, South Africa, South Korea and Czech Republic. Just so you know, I'm filming this video on Monday, the 15th of June. So a few games have played. Not everyone's played yet, but Mexico have. I mean, this entire group have, obviously, haven't they? So we know, Mexico won, and so did South Korea. But from this group, Mexico didn't look amazing when they played. It was probably the worst game I've watched so far, to be fair, that opener. The atmosphere inside the stadium, I think, is what won them the game. South Africa were... They just look terrified, to be honest with you. Like a deer in headlights, someone said, and I agree. Do Mexico have what it takes to top the group? I think it's going to be between them and South Korea for me. I'm going to say just with the home advantage. I don't know how many times they're going to be playing at home, obviously, because it's between three nations, which is stupid. Just pick one of the three, please. Preferably Mexico, because that's the most footballing country. But regardless of that, I'm going to say you're going to finish number one spot, Mexico. And then in second, I think it has to be South Korea. Third, I'm sorry, South Africa, but Czech Republic are going to come third. Oh, and you're gone. And that means South Africa are fourth, of course. Oh, can we can check back if we want to, yeah. Moving on to Group B with Canada, one of the hosting nations, sorry. Bosnia-Herzegovina, I don't know how you say them really. We'll just call them Bosnia just for now. Qatar and Switzerland. Canada... They played all right. I saw someone say that they played like a team full of Maduekes, where they look good until they're not, and that was kind of true. They were just a complete lack of end product. The way they were kicking the ball in the net, it was just, the lack of kicking the ball in the net. It looked like they couldn't kick a ball, but they were playing so well at the same time. And Bosnia did a very, very good job of shutting them out, to be fair, until later on. They defended like heroes, and that defence can take them a long way, potentially. You don't know. Who will top the group? Switzerland, I would argue, are probably the best footballing team from there. But they dropped points in the last minute against Qatar, didn't they? That's going to be a really tricky one. I think it's between Canada and Switzerland. And I think it might click a bit more with Canada, and I'm going to put them top. So both the hosting nations are going to top their group, I think. And then second, it has to be Switzerland. And third, I think... Switzerland absolutely battered Qatar, to be fair, and I think Bosnia had a little bit more about them, so I'm going to put them third, and then Qatar, unfortunately for them, are out of the tournament. Moving on to Group C, we have Brazil and Morocco, Haiti and Scotland. Brazil and Morocco played each other, obviously, and I was very disappointed, as I think everyone wants with Brazil. They've got a great manager in Carlo Ancelotti, but for large parts of that, they didn't click, and I think a bit of individual brilliance from Vinicius Junior rescued them a point. And then also with Haiti and Scotland as well. Scotland probably made it a little bit more difficult than it needed to be against Haiti, who they looked strong, to be fair, but Scotland, I think it's a good performance from them. And who I think is going to top this group, I think Brazil looks the obvious one, but I'm going to say Morocco. I think Morocco probably impressed more than Brazil. Brazil did have parts of domination in the game, but I just think they didn't show enough to convince me that they're going to win. And I think Morocco, just because of how fast-paced they were constantly, I think they'll probably run Haiti ragged. I think they'll probably claw a win against Scotland, which will be a close game. And then second, it probably has to be Brazil, doesn't it? But obviously Scotland are topping the group as of right now. So you never know, Scotland can go and win it. A little part of me is really tempted to put Scotland to finish second. You know what, I can't put Scotland finishing above Brazil, can I? I don't know. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to be absolutely stupid and say Scotland are going to come second. So all you Scottish people out there, you're welcome for this. I believe in you. You might lose your remaining two games and crash out, but I believe in you. So Scotland are going to finish second, Brazil third, and then stop doing that. And then that means Haiti are out. If Brazil do finish third, that could be shocking. That would be unbelievable. You never know, it might happen. Probably won't happen. It won't happen. But if it does, wowzers. Group D, the USA, Paraguay, Australia and Turkey. Turkey are the regular dark horses of everyone before they just get battered in the first game and just look terrible. United States, the home nation again, looked really good against Paraguay, to be fair. Pulisic, obviously, was actually showing why he is the LeBron James of football. I can't bring myself to say that word. Yeah, Paraguay looked very poor. And Australia looked solid against Turkey, to be fair to them. And I think common sense tells me, they're the main hosting nation. USA, I think they're going to win this group relatively comfortably. Second place, I'm going to go Australia. They look the most solid by quite a bit. And then third place, I'd probably pick Paraguay over Turkey, to be fair. Turkey, it happens every tournament, doesn't it? They look so promising until they don't. And then it all ends up in tears. Group E, Germany, I forget how to say this. Is it Curaçao? I'll say Curaçao, yeah, Curaçao. Ivory Coast and Ecuador. Germany smashed Curaçao 7-1, which is a scoreline we've all seen before, right, Germany? And then Ivory Coast won Ecuador later on. I didn't stay up to watch that game because I do have a little bit of a life sometimes, and I was knackered from the night before from staying up to watch Brazil-Morocco, which was only until 1, so I'm a bit of a weakling. But yeah, I was really impressed with Ivory Coast, although Ecuador hit the bar like 3 times, so that was fun. I think Germany, they've got to top the group. They've had a little bit of a dip of form lately, I think, in the World Cup and international tournaments in general, probably since they won the World Cup. And this is their time to get back on it. They've got a relatively easy group. They've smashed Curaçao, so that's going to give them a bit of confidence, surely. And then second place, I think we've got to say Curaçao are going to finish last, just out of common sense, really, bless them. It's between Ivory Coast and Ecuador. Obviously, Ivory Coast do have the advantage, but Ecuador, on paper, are probably the better footballing team. I was impressed by Ecuador, to be fair. They just couldn't put the ball in the net. I'd fancy Ecuador to take points off Germany more than Ivory Coast. I think I'm going to put Ecuador second, Ivory Coast third, and that means Curaçao are crashing and burning in their first ever World Cup. But they're giving it the best go. Group F with the Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. Netherlands and Japan was a right good game. That ended up 2-2. I thought Netherlands probably just about had the better of it, but still, it was a really good game, really entertaining game. And then I didn't stay up to watch the other one, Sweden-Tunisia. That ended up 5-1. Sweden ended up coasting home. It looked for a little bit, 2-0 Sweden, then Tunisia got on back, and there was a little bit of shakiness, and then the floodgates just opened, really, and that was that. Who do I think will top this group? I think this is probably one of the hardest groups to be put in, because I think either Netherlands, Japan or Sweden could all top the group. You'd think it'd be between Netherlands and Japan, but you never know. I think just because of their World Cup experience, they've got some very experienced players in there. Netherlands are going to top it for me. Then in second, I think it's going to be Japan in second. I was impressed by their pace, I think, especially in the later second half. First half, Japan, bit disappointing. But since they went ahead behind for the second time, they looked good. And I think they're going to grow as this tournament grows on. And then Sweden have got to be third, and Tunisia, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm fairly confident Tunisia are going to finish last of that group. Group G now we have Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Belgium are they're not the footballing nation that they once were, are they? But I think from this group, I'd probably fancy them the best. And I'm going to say straight out that Belgium are going to finish top. We are now into the territory, I do believe, of teams who haven't played yet. So I've not watched any of these games so far, obviously, because they don't exist. When it comes out, there might be a few more. But I haven't. Belgium, for me, have to be finished first. I know they're not what they once were. Compared to the rest of them, I think they're the obvious one. But I don't know how good Iran are as a footballing nation. I genuinely could not tell you. Egypt do have Salah, but I can't remember Egypt ever really performing particularly well at a World Cup either. It's a tricky one. It's a stab in the dark for me. I'm not very informed on these teams, to be honest with you. I'm going to say New Zealand second, Egypt third, and then Iran are unfortunately crashing out. I think Belgium are going to be able to win Iran and Egypt. They might drop points to New Zealand, I think. I think that's where New Zealand could pick up 3 points potentially against Belgium, weirdly enough. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that group. That's quite a random prediction. I'm going probably a little bit safe there. But yeah, Group H, we have Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia and Uruguay. Spain they've got to finish top, haven't they? Spain, really. There's not really a universe where Spain don't top this group. They're probably the favourites to win this tournament, I'd say. The players they have, obviously, Lamine Yamal is back in form. Will David Raya be in the net? That's a big story as well. I think he should be. Maybe a little bit of that discourse between who should be the first keeper might play a little bit of an impact negatively to Spain. It's not nice when you're having to worry about stuff like that, but I think they'll be fine. Second, I'm going to go Uruguay. That's pretty self-explanatory as well. It's a safe option, isn't it? And then I think between these two, I can't see any of them making it through to the next round, even if they finish third. I think it's going to be quite low scoring. Saudi Arabia, I'm going to go with. Was it Saudi Arabia who won Argentina? I'm going to go Saudi Arabia to finish third. And that means, unfortunately, Cape Verde, you're out. We're getting a little bit towards the business end. It's taken a while, I'm not going to lie. Group I, France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. France are going to top this group. Easy as pie, I think. The amount of talent that France have is unbelievable. probably the best squad on paper. The likes of Mbappe, Dembele. That's a frightening attack already. And yeah, I'm confident for France. Senegal and Norway, they're two decent teams. I think Norway are probably a little bit more of not a one-man team, but they've talents that probably have to work for the rest a little bit more just because they have like Haaland, Odegaard, them type of players, and then there's a little bit of a piece missing in the rest. I'm going to go with Senegal to finish second, Norway third, but I think they'll still make it through. And then that does mean Iraq are going to finish fourth. Group J, Argentina, Algeria, Austria and Jordan. Argentina, did Argentina top their group last time? Because I know they lost the first game. I can't remember if they came first or second. I think this time they're going to come first. I think there's going to be a lot of confidence in there. Messi's playing, isn't he? He's the GOAT. Simple as that. Second place, I'm going to say Austria. I think that's probably quite a safe guess. And then I'll go Algeria and then Jordan last. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not too informed on Algeria and Jordan's footballing teams. I'm kind of going off vibes a little bit there. I'm not too sure how good they are. I don't have the FIFA rankings of them to help me either. But anyways, we're on to Group K now. Portugal, Congo DR, sorry. Uzbekistan and Colombia. Ooh. I'm going to be a bit boring again and say Portugal top that. The talent in Portugal's squad, it's not fair to call Portugal a dark horse. But out of the good teams, I think they're being overlooked a little bit. Obviously, people do have the worry if Ronaldo is making his way into the squad, he's going to take away from that. And I see where they're coming from, but at the same time, Ronaldo is the second best footballer in the world. Messi is the best. But yeah, so I think it's a little bit... I see where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's a little bit daft, although he probably should step off free kicks now, bless him. He's going to score a free kick now, isn't he? Second, I'm going to go Colombia, and then Uzbekistan, and then Congo, unfortunately last. And then the final group with England, Croatia, Ghana and Panama. I'm an England fan, obviously, and I'm going to predict England to finish first. Because I'm optimistic. It's not just saying, we're going to win, it's going to be easy. I'm not one of those fans who just thinks we're going to be the best team every tournament. Obviously, the whole it's going home thing is a bit tongue-in-cheek, and you've got to believe it's going home, because one nation doesn't go to the World Cup and, believe in themselves to win the World Cup. I get why people get annoyed when people are like, we think we're going to win everything and we're ignorant and all that. And arrogant, but no, I think it's going to be close between us and Croatia for top. I think I said it in a video that I think we're going to draw, and I think Croatia are just going to finish blows. Maybe on goal difference, who knows, because I'm confident both of us will probably win Ghana and Panama, although Ghana's going to be a tough game, and so is Panama, to be fair. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then 3, 4, just like that. And now we have done that. It's not quite onto the knockouts, I'm sorry. Choose best first, 13 places. Brazil, they've got to go through. I know I've put third, but they can't not make it through, can they? Let me see. I think Sweden. I think Norway as well. I'm going for the obvious ones first. I think Egypt will. I think the Ivory Coast will. How many teams are 8? So only 4 of these teams going out. That's crazy. We'll do it by who I don't think. I don't think Algeria will. I don't think Paraguay will. I don't think Uzbekistan will. So that's 3 teams. Will Saudi Arabia? I don't know. Czech Republic will, I think. I think from what I saw, Bosnia had enough to go through, and then one more team. I'm going to go Ghana. So Paraguay, Algeria, Saudi Arabia, and Uzbekistan are the unlucky teams to finish third and not go through. Now we're on to the round of 32. I've probably ruined it by putting Brazil third. I don't know what's wrong with me, to be honest. But we've got Germany versus Brazil. And I think based on what I've said, I'm going to have to say Germany are going to win that game. I'm going to look back on this, aren't I, when England go out in the group stage and Brazil win the whole thing. I regret, alright, okay, if I was doing this again, I'd probably put Brazil second now. I've got egg on my face, I'm not going to lie. Colombia versus Croatia, I'm going to have to say Croatia for that one. France, Sweden, France. Spain versus Austria, Spain. South Korea versus Switzerland. That's going to be tricky. I think, trying to remember South Korea, because I can't remember loads from their game. That's going to be a tricky one. I'm going to say South Korea, sorry. Just over. No, I'm going to change it. Switzerland win, I think. USA versus Bosnia. It's got to be USA, hasn't it? I think Bosnia will defend well in that game if it does theoretically happen, but I think USA will just have a little bit too much firepower from Christian Pulisic. The Netherlands versus Scotland. I think this is where the Scotland fairy tale ends, unfortunately. Maybe I shouldn't put it in second. Maybe they would have fancied the chances against Germany, although in the Euros didn't go very well. Belgium versus the Czech Republic. Belgium have been weird at the minute. I think if this game goes on, it'll be a little bit saucy. I'm going to say the Czech Republic. I'm sorry, Belgium, but... No, I'm not. I've changed my mind. Ignore that. Sorry. I've done it again. I've changed my mind. Because I think I'm overrating Czech Republic a little bit there. I don't think they've got what it takes to upset Belgium to that extent, mate. Morocco, Japan, that is going to be a good game, and I think whoever loses that is going to be really disappointed. That is 2 of the dark horses for the World Cup, I'm going to say. Who do I think would win that? I think Morocco will just have the better individual quality to win that. Two very well-drilled sides, though. Ecuador versus Senegal. Senegal. Mexico versus the Ivory Coast. Mexico. England versus Norway. I'm going to say England for now. I know, sorry, bias and all that. Argentina, Uruguay. That's a saucy one. Argentina. Australia versus New Zealand. Ooh, is that a bit of a derby back there? I don't know. Australia are the better squad. Canada versus Egypt. Canada. And then Portugal versus Ghana. I'm going to say Portugal. We're into the round of 16. This is where it gets tricky. We have Germany against France. What a game this is. This is an absolute classic. France, just come out the bear. And then Switzerland versus Netherlands. I'm going to say Netherlands. That leaves France versus Netherlands in this quarter-final. That's weird. What? Croatia versus Spain. Spain, I think Croatia will give them a scare though. USA versus Belgium. I'll say USA, you know. If it was Belgium, 8 years ago, it's different. But I think USA, as much as it pains me to say it, they look a decent side and I think they have what it takes to reach the quarters. Don't know about further than that, but the quarters definitely. Morocco versus Senegal. Ooh, if that happens, it's all going to kick off in it. Morocco won the game technically, haven't they now? I'm going to say Morocco just. Mexico versus England. That's going to be a tough one. This is the game that everyone doesn't want, isn't it? Is it the one that's going to be at the Mexico Stadium as well? This one is going to be horrible. It's going to go to extra time, and I think we're going to win it in extra time. Argentina versus Australia. Argentina, I think that might be a bit of a comfortable one. Not underrated Australia, but I think Argentina will be in full flow. Canada versus Portugal. I think Portugal will win that one. And we're on to the quarterfinals. France versus Netherlands. Ooh, I think France have just got the better quality squad. I think Netherlands will defend well. It's going to be a valiant display. Might go to penalties this one. I think France is just going to top it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Netherlands were to win this fixture if it were to happen. On the other side, Spain versus USA. I think Spain are going to win relatively comfortable for a quarter-final anyway. Morocco versus England. This is not going to be a fun one to get if it does happen. I'm trying to think as neutral as I can if I was watching this game. That'd be England's hardest test so far by quite a mile. I'm going to say England because you've got to believe. I think, yeah. I'm not being biased either. I think if I was a neutral, I would say England would win Morocco just about. Argentina, Portugal. What have I done? Messi versus Ronaldo. Can you imagine if that was the final? I know it can't be, unfortunately, but that would be unbelievable. I'm going to go Argentina. I think Portugal have a brilliant squad, but I think they're just going to fall short of that. And then we have the semi-finals. France versus Spain. I think Spain, based on recent form, I'm going to go Spain. France, unlucky. England, Argentina. Messi, last minute of normal time. That's heartbreaking. But don't worry, boys. We're going to win third place. And Argentina versus Spain in the final. This is going to be a massive game. And I think Spain are just going to win it. Messi's last ever World Cup ends in tears, but he's already won one, so it's fine. Spain are my World Cup champions. Hope you did enjoy, everyone. This is a very weird video in terms of what I've predicted. It's probably not going to happen. There's a few very questionable ones in there, I'm not going to lie. But I had a lot of fun doing it regardless, and I hope you enjoyed too. If you did, please smash the like button, as they say, and please subscribe. And thank you all for watching very much, and enjoy the World Cup.